So last time I talked about how in the EU, corporations that produce GMOs have to prove that they're safe before they can be sold to consumers, as opposed to the US, where the burden of proof is on the consumer to prove that GMOs are not safe. A perfect example of this is with Roundup, or glyphosate. Glyphosate is an herbicide that's sprayed on crops that are genetically designed to be resistant to it, so it kills the weeds and not the crops. The weeds have become resistant to glyphosate, so they have to spray more and more in the crops to kill the weeds. After years of corporate denial that glyphosate does any harm, there's finally good evidence that people who have high exposure to glyphosate, like farm workers, have an increased risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of cancer, up to 41%. The company Bayer, which owns Roundup, has been hit with 125,000 lawsuits and has had to pay over $10 billion in settlements in the last year. Bayer is now planning to take Roundup off the market, reformulate it, and then put it back out, and the EPA has done nothing to regulate it. Glyphosate is also sprayed on wheat crops before harvest to promote ripening. And because glyphosate inhibits a pathway that's common to both plants and bacteria, there's evidence that it's killing our good gut microbes, while our more pathogenic gut microbes are more resistant to it, so it's leading to dysbiosis and degraded gut health. There's even some speculation that this could be the cause of a lot of cases of gluten intolerance, not the gluten itself. All of this shows that these products are not as harmless as these corporations and regulatory bodies would like us to believe. But it's really hard to prove correlation between GMOs and these subclinical, slow-to-develop digestive issues. So for example, BT crops are genetically modified to produce a toxin that kills insects that eat them. They kill them by destroying the bug's intestinal cells, making the bugs unable to digest and absorb nutrients. The corporations say that there's no way that these toxins could affect mammalian cells, but new evidence is showing that it could. So while we're not getting acutely sick from these GMOs, it could be adding to the burden of degraded gut health that many of us are experiencing. And again, it'll have to take years of harm before anything is done about it. So part of organic certification is that the food doesn't contain GMOs and the animals weren't fed GMO feed. So try to eat organic, and like and follow for more nutrition tips and gut healing info.